Did she win?
I said, I need pictures.
I know. That's what I told her. I said, I need pictures. What the hell? Did she win?
I need pictures. It didn't happen. She won. Mm-hmm.
She won.
She
What
won.
is that?
Yeah, she won.
I saw the flyer.
Come on now. My girl won.
So, last minute cancellations.
She won.
Actually, Ithai, I don't know if you got a chance to listen to his album. He works on Saturdays, so he thought that we were doing it at 11 at night. And I'm like, dude, why would we be doing it at 11 at night? So he wants to do it on a Sunday.
Damn.
And I said, probably not this Sunday, but we could try to do it next Sunday. And Alex had a birthday party. He was supposed to be on, and he's like, last minute. And I was like, okay. Well, I was like, you know what? We're just going to do it. Fuck it. I mean, you can't.
Okay.
I'm just gonna breeze through things, but
I don't know nothing about sports.
Yeah, that's why I said I'll just breeze through shit. But I wanted to talk about some stuff that I recently updated or whatever, like the Breonna, verdict and stuff like that. So
Breonna Taylor, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
All right. Let me start this.
How's my lighting?
It's good. You know how many texts I get? Who's that girl? Who's that girl?
Really? Hey, y'all.
Let's see if this starts. So your friend got drunk?
My friend got drunk.
Oh.
My friend got wet. I saw the pictures.
Oh. Did you?
Hey, that's my bestie. Of course I saw the pictures. Come on now. That's the first thing I asked for. I was like, is there pictures? I know somebody took some video. Did anybody go live?
No, I don't think nobody did. Did they?
I don't, honestly, how would she know? She was engaged in an entanglement.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pictures are hot. I mean, the two that I saw are pretty hot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How many people were in it?
Okay, so I guess what happened was, nobody was signing up, and two girls that she doesn't know had signed up, but then when the time came, they chickened out.
Really?
Yeah, they just walked off or whatever. So her, a mutual friend of ours, a friend of ours' girlfriend, somebody you know, she was like, I'm gonna go up there and do it. But when she got up there, she was just trying to get the crowd going,
Right.
And so that's when she was Jen was like, I'm gonna go. And so she went up and she's like, fuck it. Ah! And it really wasn't a t-shirt contest at that point. She just pulled them out. So tits out. And then the other girl, our friend's girlfriend, was pouring water on her. She said she had 5 pitchers of water poured on her. I said, well, were y'all slipping all over the place? She said, no, we were in a swimming pool. They had a little kiddie pool.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. And she's like, and then the other girl who, I think I met her when I came to Detroit, she was sucking on her titties, and it was great. It was a good time.
Oh, that's great. Oh,
I know, we both missed it.
Damn, there you go.
But she called me on her drive home. She's like, I'm soaking wet right now.
That's so funny.
I know. I said, hey, all that matters is that you won,
How much you win?
$100, but $100 is $100.
$100 is $100.
Yeah, $100 is $100.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, yeah, it was a good time. She had fun. It was a good story. Got great pictures. She's got a lot of clout in Southwest now.
All right, here you go.
I guess all of Southwest was there. Mm-hmm.
So good morning, Saturday, September 26th. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you? I'm well.
Like half asleep.
Happy Saturday.
Saturday. So, like I just told you off air, Ithai, Gangsta Melody wasn't able to make it. He's working, so he wants to do it on a Sunday. So I guess we could try to do it on a Sunday. And then Alex
Okay.
had a birthday party, so he wasn't able to get on. So
Well,
um,
we're here, right? So
yeah,
we're
we're
good.
here. Yeah. So
Hey.
we were talking about the wet t-shirt contest last night.
Yes, we were. Yeah, it's a good
Too bad
time.
I wasn't there. That's so funny.
I'm mad I wasn't there either.
I know that is so funny. What t-shirt
Yeah.
contest went down in Southwest Detroit? So I
Mm-hmm.
thought it was pretty funny that a mutual friend won the contest. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Titties out, everything
She,
good.
she made us proud.
That is so funny. So I got into a conversation last night, and I wanted to bring it up to you, and I thought it was kind of crazy. Um, so they were telling me that hey, let's go out, let's go have a drink, blah blah blah. But I want to warn you that I don't need a DUI. Here in the state of Arizona, there's no tolerance. So it's you blow zero, point zero, you're going to jail, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, look, I don't, there's no way we're gonna go out, and I'm gonna Uber there, blah 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 blah, right? So I'm like, yeah, that's cool. She goes, and she was like, telling me on and on and on, and I was like, I guess it cannot be worse. So I said, I went on a date about a year, maybe a year and a half ago, right? So I think we went to I think we went to like IHOP or something like that, right? So I'm sitting down from this girl, pretty girl, right? Sitting across from her, and she's like, I need to tell you something. And I said, okay, here you go. Maybe she got a dick. You know what I mean? I don't know, right? So
Instantly, I thought that.
yeah, I got a
I'm
dick.
like,
My husband's at home, whatever the case may be, right? So she's like, I I was in jail, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess the tats gave it away, right? So, and she goes, and then she goes, well, I said, so what was it for? She said, attempted murder. So now the story's getting interesting, right? And I was like, okay, attempted murder. I was like, what, you just try to stab your boyfriend? No, she goes, no, I poisoned my mom. And I was, oh my God. I was like, this cannot get any worse, right? So like I said,
I mean,
I'm reminiscing of this story, right? So I'm telling this girl, and I'm like, she poisoned her mom. What the fuck?
what
So
the fuck?
what the fuck? She's like, yeah, I served like 10 years for poisoning my mom. And I'm like,
Ooh.
and so
Check,
I'm like,
please. Check,
yeah,
please.
that's exactly. I'm like, okay, where's the door at? Tell me where the
Right.
door is. And, I have to go to the bathroom, and if I don't come back, don't be mad. And she goes,
Yeah.
so what do you think of me? And I'm like, oh, is this a fight? Is this? I was like thinking
Is
out
this a
loud.
trick question?
Yeah,
Or
I
am
was
I
thinking
being
to myself.
am I being punked?
Yeah, so I'm thinking to myself that there's some camera in the back or something. You know what I mean?
Completely.
So what? Being on a date, going through this, and well, not of course COVID, but we weren't in COVID at the time. So tell me, what is the worst thing you ever heard out of a guy's mouth on a first date? Mine's is pretty crazy. Attempted murder, served 10 years because I poisoned my mom. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm thinking it can't get any worse, but you tell me.
I mean, I don't think I've had anything like that before, poisoning
So do you
people.
get up? Do you get up and leave?
Okay, so I'm an advocate, sneak out of a date type person. Like
Oh no! Oh no!
yeah, as soon as I start feeling that bad energy, I have to go to the bathroom or I have to, let me say this. First of all, when I go
So
out on a date, I already have an escape plan,
right.
period. First date, escape plan. I've got 2 people on to call. They both know that if I call and I go, hey, what's up? In that voice.
Right.
So you got me telling all my secrets now on my first date. If I say, hey, what's up? Oh my God, is everything okay? That's the clue.
Right.
That's the line for them to immediately go into there's an emergency. So at that point, they know that I have to go. I always drive myself on a first date. I never let anybody pick me up. I don't let anybody know where I live. That's a disaster. And I've had some pretty bad first dates. I've climbed out of a bathroom window in a restaurant before.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've dipped out of the back of the kitchen. You know how sometimes the bathrooms are like right by the kitchen. I've gone through the kitchen, out the back door, had the cooks laughing, dipped right out.
That bad.
That bad.
What did the guy say to you though?
Sometimes it's the way they say, sometimes it's the way they act. They're just rude, or they have just this attitude, but say wise, okay. So I guess the prison thing wouldn't have scared me. The poison thing would have, but unfortunately I've dated a lot of people that have been to jail.
I'm looking at my glass. I'm looking at her person.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, is he gonna like sip something?
You're like, don't consume anything on this date.
Right.
Yeah. I think the worst is like somebody has a whole family at home and doesn't tell me. I've had that happen, like, by the way.
That's recently.
Yeah. Recent.
That's recently, right? That's recently. So
fuck my life.
So tell me, you didn't finish that story last week. So what happened? Did you guys resume that phone call?
We did not resume that phone call. Well, I spoke with him. We did not resume that phone call. And he swears it's not true, this and that. This was on Saturday. Come Sunday, I haven't seen him since Sunday. Wow. He's vanished. So yeah, on to the next one. It is what it is. But yeah, usually I'm trying to think here. Oh, so this one guy, and this is funny. So he's been trying to get to talk to me, and he's, let me take you out and all this stuff. So finally I meet him for a drink, right? And this guy is so whiny. Like, he's complaining about everything, the silverware, the drink, just everything. Next thing I know, he's telling me his whole life story about, like, when I tell you the craziest things that you shouldn't even say to somebody, he's telling me. And next thing he goes into his mother, and he's very fond of his mother, and he starts talking about, like, kind of personal things, like her sexual preferences and stuff with her boyfriends. I don't even know how this went so left. Yes. I don't even know how this went so left field. And the whole time I'm just sitting there with my mouth dropped. And then I'm big on, like, hey, what's your sign? So I'm trying to change the subject. Why do me and him share a birthday? At that point, I was so just dumbfounded. That's the one that I climbed out of the bathroom window for. Yeah.
The movie, what was it? Wrong Mississippi? It was on Netflix. It was, I think it was like an Adam Sandler movie, but I'm trying to remember. Did you see that movie?
The dates one where he goes on all the dates?
No, he goes on the worst date ever. And he ends up in his vacation with her. He texts the wrong girl, but they have the same name, and he jumps in the bathroom and he breaks his leg. So that's
I would have broke both my legs that day. I wouldn't even have cared. Wow. So I ended up blocking him on everything, right? Like, I didn't even want to go further. I blocked him on everything.
Right.
This guy, when I moved, I haven't talked to him in probably 2 years, right? I moved here.
Right.
I don't even know how he found me. He must have seen me tagged on something stuff. Yeah. When I moved here, he's like, hey, how are you? How you been? Do you remember me? I'm like, of course I remember you. I dipped out on our date. He swears I didn't dip out on our date. I'm like, you're crazy. I got up and left, like, never came back. How do you not remember that?
Right. Well, I've been on plenty of dates, but I've never, like, this escape plan that you're telling me, this grand escape plan.
You got to have it.
I think from a guy, I guess you can go to the bathroom and take off, but I don't know. I'm more of a gentleman, and I stay there and, pay the bill and be like, yeah, okay, see you later. You know what I mean? Like, obviously I'm not going to call you anymore, right? So, but it is kind of bizarre that, we were talking about it, and then I was just like, oh my God, I remember this girl. I went on a date and she tried to poison her mom. Or you know what I mean? Like, what?
Did she give you like? I mean, I don't really think there's an explanation
Well,
for
she
it,
told me
but
like she got abused, and you know what I mean, going on and on and on. And
right.
you feel bad, and you're like hearing the story, and you're like, well, I don't know if it fucking entitled you to poison your mom. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Call the cops, or you know what I mean? Like, I guess she was just getting abused, and kind of like, what is the Disney princess that they treated her like a slave? What's her name?
Ooh, Cinderella?
Cinderella. Sorry.
Yeah.
So she was like, they treated me like like shit. I had to come to
Yeah.
the house and lick the floor, and you know what I mean. And then she's like, I just went fucking crazy, and I just poisoned her.
Yeah, I haven't had any crazy. I mean, I guess they kind of crazy, but not that crazy. I've just dated
Right.
weirdos. I'm a weirdo magnet.
A weirdo magnet.
I'm like a weirdo magnet, a fuckboy magnet. It's yeah. Lucky me.
Yeah, no, like I said, that's the weirdest thing. And then, like I said, I'll sit through it and kind of like grind my teeth and like, okay, when is this over? And then I'm asking for the check immediately. So I guess they get the hint. But
she should have waited till the second date to tell you that.
The second date,
at least.
Or I mean, you know what I mean? Like I can't even think. You know what I mean? Where do you go from there? You know what I mean? So. Where do
the
you
morgue.
Yeah. So like I told her off air, I think we already talked about it. So we're gonna try to do it on a Sunday. He works, so we'll try to get to it. I don't know if you listened to his album. Pretty amazing. This guy definitely is a star. I wish him the best. I hope somebody recognizes him. I think he told me recently, so he came out to Phoenix. And he was just trying to figure out whether to come out to the West Coast or trying to find somebody that, or try to find a place that's going to appreciate his music. I think in Detroit, it's tough being a rapper, and then it's a tough being like a Latino rapper. So I wish him all the best, and then we're going to try to get him on here as soon as we can. So I wanted to move on to the Breonna Taylor grand jury decision. I read briefly because things have happened. They've killed other black men and women, whatever the case, since this whole COVID started. And I remember briefly reading, that because this happened in March.
Yeah.
That somebody was, they approached her door, and the boyfriend thought somebody was breaking in. Blah blah blah. We weren't there. We don't know the whole story, but. They found the cops got off. So, I mean, what's your thoughts? I mean, it's just crazy the way, and like I said, we don't know all the details. But I guess the riots are going on. People are protesting because of the decision. I mean, what do you think? Should be maybe they're just not doing swift justice on some of this stuff. I don't know.
I've been following the story very closely. It's absolutely has disgusted me to the core. Breonna Taylor was 25 years old. She was an EMS worker, a frontline worker, a stand-up citizen, a stand-up human. She was sleeping the night that she was murdered, and her and her boyfriend, the police came to her home because they had record that one of her ex-boyfriends that she's no longer involved with, who was in drug activity. She was never in drug activity. This so-called fugitive was, and they had this as one of his known addresses that they had put down for him. And they supposedly came to deliver a warrant in the middle of the night. Mind you, he was already in police custody.
He was what?
He was already in police custody.
Oh my God.
So they came to deliver a warrant for somebody who had already been arrested and was in jail. Exactly. So they say that they knocked. They announced themselves as they kicked in the door, but you know how that goes, in the middle of the night. And supposedly now there's this witness that just so conveniently, an unidentified witness, so conveniently was in the hallway in the middle of the night, and heard them announce themselves.
Right.
But then comes back and says, whoever this unidentified person is that they were coerced. Kick in the door. Her boyfriend hears the breaking and entering. He has a legal firearm. He shoots one time.
Okay.
And they then return fire over 26 times.
Yeah, I was going to say it was in double.
2 officers, I think, were 10. Another one was 16. Breonna was hit and died. She was hit 6 times. They say, the attorney general said that they were met in the hallway with fire, which is their side of the story. From listening to the police call, the 911 call, and listening to her little sister, who just so happened to not be at home. Her sister lived with Breonna. Breonna was her mentor. She looked up to her. This was her best friend. This was her everything. She said that her sister was in the bed and fell into the hallway bloody, and all her blood was in the hallway because she was trying to save herself.
Oh my God.
So, yeah. And instead of being charged with her murder, 2 of them got off that fired and killed her. And the other one is getting charges for endangering the family next door because a bullet went through the wall next door. In the apartment next to her. So nobody is being charged with Breonna's murder. And that's what it was. First of all, they should have never been at her door, period.
Right.
They failed her from the beginning. So they tried to say it's self-defense because he shot a self-defense shot at an intruder in the middle of the night, which anybody who is woken up in the middle of the night is going to do what? You're going to grab your gun and you're going to defend you and your wife, your girlfriend, your family.
No.
So
was he murdered?
Kentucky law says that.
Was he murdered or was he injured at all?
What's
the boyfriend?
So he was not injured. No, he was not injured. He actually struck the police officer with his one shot, and they tried to charge him. Yeah, but they let him off. But yeah, and then he had to go bury her.
Wow.
Terrible. Absolutely disgusting.
So, no charges.
So what do you do if police show up at your home in the middle of the night? And they're unannounced. They kick in the door as they're yelling whatever they're yelling, if they yell anything.
Right. No.
And you're awakened. What's your first instinct?
Yeah, I'm grabbing my gun and returning fire. So. Well, it's sad. I mean, like I said, I think these officers just are not properly trained. And then I'm not saying that all officers are bad, all cops are bad. There's some few bad apples, of course.
No.
They just need better training.
But these ones are.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean, and then you come to find out that they were there for the girl that poisoned their mom that was already in jail.
Just crazy. And yeah, just crazy. So
no justice for her at all.
No.
It breaks my heart.
It just goes on and on and on. So I just hope that it does get fixed in our country. So I'm going to skip a couple things because Alex is not here. But Pac-12 football was announced this week. They're going to play a 7-game season starting November 6th. So it'd be exciting to see some ASU football, some U of A football. I know we're here. So that'd be exciting. And I know definitely the Big Ten is back. So kind of cool. Second week of NFL, Lions suck again. Same old Lions. I don't know if you watched the game. I did. I was throwing the remote control at fucking.
I did. They suck.
TV and during the fourth quarter, I'm like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I don't know if the Lions will ever win during our lifespan. So like I said, real quick, I'm just going to go through a couple things. NHL playoffs. The Tampa Bay Lightning went up 3-1 last night. It was a really good game. It was 4-4 going into overtime. So it was a really, really good game, but they ended up pulling it out. So it was, so it looks like Tampa Bay probably they're one game away from winning the Stanley Cup. So pretty exciting. On the Boston, they finally got the
exciting.
Yeah, finally Boston got a win. So it's 3-2 now over there. Pretty exciting. Good series. And then LA took a commanding lead over the Nuggets in another good series. Like I said briefly, the Detroit Tigers manager Ron, he stepped down because of health reasons. So the Tigers are basically, they got an interim manager right now. So just the Detroit teams just still struggling with just not winning. So it kind of sucks. But something you might want to talk about, Zendaya makes history, the youngest Emmy winner. I don't watch her show, but I mean, my kids, you know what I mean? They were her fan from, I don't know, was she on Disney or Nickelodeon? But they watch her, young girl, real pretty. So she makes history with the Emmys. What was your thoughts on that? She just seemed like a really classy girl. So it seems like a star.
Absolutely. So. Absolutely. Classy, great energy, great guidance in her life. Very proud of her. It was just a really happy moment to see, a young person just take this honor and make history, like, especially with everything going on in the world right now and all the negativity that we see, to see this. And she's a great role model for, your daughters and just people in general, and rising stars that, feel that they have something, when they're young women, or there's any obstacles in their life. Like, she's just a great role model.
Disney or Nick? Was she on Disney or Nick?
I think she was on Disney. Don't quote me though.
I think
yeah, because yeah. So yeah, I was very happy for her. That's exciting. That's such an exciting thing. And from what I know and all the things that I've seen, obviously she has a great support group and good parents. So it's exciting.
It seems like a really amazing, young adult. So
I'm excited to see what she'll do in the future.
Hats off to her. I mean, amazing. One of the youngest winner ever of Emmy. So congratulations. Some crazy stuff. I know. I don't know if you looked into it, but if you remember before COVID, the whole thing at Area 51, everybody wanted to go rush it and find out if it was real or whatever. So I just posted that. I thought it was pretty funny. So there's some guy saying there's a 52-foot tall structure at Area 51. He thinks it's a damn spaceship or some shit. So so if you remember last year before COVID, everybody wanted to go and find out if they were hiding things at Area 51. Do you remember that at all? You do?
Yeah, I do remember crazy people with tinfoil hats and swords. And we were going to call the task force, the space task force.
I don't know. I just wanted to
I don't know. It just seemed like a surefire way to get shot.
Right. Just crazy. Yeah, because I think I've been around there, and I think I've seen videos, and there's all kinds of, fence, government fence that, you know what I mean? If you jump over, they're going to, you know what I mean? They're going to, what the hell? And probably arrest you. So.
No, they're going to kill you.
Yeah, they're going to kill you, right?
They're shooting you, for sure.
Right. So something in the political, government, Justice Ruth passing, I saw Biden there and I saw Trump there. What was your thoughts on her? I know she's, was pretty impact in the government in the U.S. Some of the stuff, amazing lady, but
incredible.
Yeah.
Her nickname was Notorious. Yeah, she was incredible. She paved the way for women. She paved the way for your daughters.
Right.
She never slept. She always, no matter what, even during all of her health issues and, her bouts with cancer and you name it, she always was there. She showed up. And she was just an incredible force to be reckoned with, and just somebody who really paved the way for equality for women and rights. And so many great things came from her and her soul. So it's very, we all pass, and it's sad,
Right.
but I can't think of a better person for women equality that, has made a difference in our lives for everybody. And not even just women, the trickle effect, because she obviously had an effect on men as well. So yeah, she's,
Right.
yeah.
Talking about her death. Hats off.
I saw when they, I guess they booed Trump when he went to show up at her funeral.
Did her funeral?
Yeah, they were chanting "Lock him up"
Yeah.
and booing him. So that was interesting. Which I feel like he just went for a photo op anyway. So whatever.
Yeah, probably. So
Yeah.
I saw recently the CDC, and I know my kids were they're supposed to go back on the 28th, but CDC updated that they saying the coronavirus is definitely, they confirmed that it is airborne. I thought it was already. They're saying that it is. I know my kids are supposed to go back the 28th, but I actually opted to have them stay in virtual learning. I mean, do you think there's going to be a vaccine um, in the next 6 months? I mean, now that they know it's airborne, I think we reached 200,000 deaths now, or it went over in the United States.
200,000, just over, yeah.
Yeah, it was just over 200,000. Just sad. I mean, but do you think there's going to be a vaccine in the next 6 months? I don't know if the kids should go back in the springtime. I mean, I would like them to, but the ex-wife doesn't want them to go back until there is a vaccine. And do you rush to go get that vaccine? I mean, so you have a child or adult that is high risk. Do you take that chance and go get that vaccine? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm not giving it to him. Right. I'm not giving it to myself. I'm just taking precautions.
Right. So, I mean, do we go as parents, do we go rush to give these kids these vaccines and hopefully that it's okay? You know what I mean? I don't know.
It's such a tough decision, because if you don't, then you feel that you're not doing something for your child that could have, that they're stating could save them. But how are they coming up with a vaccine so fast that's going to cure it if they don't know anything about how it's killing people right now? Like, no, I don't say you give it to them. You just don't.
Right.
I'm not for it. It's scary. And especially in the next 6 months, if it comes out in the near future, 6 months or sooner, I feel that they're just pushing it for election purposes. There's not enough research. There's not enough knowledge that we know of. I know I wouldn't be giving it to either one of my children or myself.
Right.
I would just continue to live cautiously, which is not the easiest thing to do. And obviously, it's something we don't want to do, but we've been doing it and here we are. So
the government step in, and I know this is crazy, but it's crazy times. Does the government step in and saying you have to, and if you don't, you're not allowed places? You know what I mean? Like, does people say, have you been vaccinated, and can you prove it? I mean, you know what I mean? Does it get that crazy? Because people are nuts right now, right? Do they say, well, I'm sorry, you're not allowed in federal buildings, you're not, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Does it get that crazy? You know what I'm saying?
It might. I mean, look at when you put your kids in school. If you don't have their vaccinations up to date, they make you sign something and they give you a reason why you don't have them up to date, whether it's health reasons, religious reasons, whatever. So, I mean, I don't think it's unheard of that they will try to pull that. Right. I think it's something we all have to think about and be prepared for.
Yeah.
It's a new way of life.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even think about that. I forgot. I mean, because all my kids have been vaccinated, whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. What if they make you sign a waiver before you go in somewhere? I mean,
see, my oldest was vaccinated my youngest, the one who has the health issues, I stopped vaccinating him after a certain age. And I signed the waiver. And, you know, people have mixed feelings on that. They feel, oh, because he's compromised, why would you not vaccine him? Right. I've done a lot of research. I have friends with the whole, who've children with autism who absolutely have had issues, and onsets were brought on after an MMR shot.
After the vaccines, okay.
You know, people will argue and say it, but when you see it firsthand, and now they have a 16-year-old who still doesn't speak, right. You don't want to inject your children with things. Right. And, you know, me not giving my son vaccines, we've always just lived a cautious life because that's just the way things have been for him. So it's never affected him.
Right.
So yeah, it's scary.
I think me and my ex-wife discussed the shot, and you would probably know better. I don't know what it's called, but it was a shot for girls, but they were saying it had a lot of side effects when you get the cervical cancer. I'm trying to think.
Oh, yeah. I can't think of the name. I know what you're speaking of.
When they're like 13 or 14 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I know.
Lots of side effects.
Right. There was lots of side effects. So she got it eventually, but you know, when she was a child, that was one thing that the doctor, I think she was like 8 or 9, and they brought it up, and we were like, well, I let her made those decisions, but you know, she was like, no, we're not doing that. And then, you know, once she got 14 and, you know, things progressed, but yeah, you know, there was a lot of side effects, I think, in the beginning of those trials.
I think also in the, you know, with the vaccinations, they shouldn't be giving babies 6 shots in one day. They just shouldn't. I think it should be spaced out, one thing at a time, you know, kids one thing at a time, see what their reaction is, and then go from there. But with the whole vaccine
shots said that once. I forgot that they do that.
Yeah, and it's going to put anybody who's, you know, new to the universe body into shock and into, you know, confusion. So not everybody's the same. We're not just black and white. Our chemical makeup is different. So I think that should actually be a law that they are not allowed to give every shot at one time. It should just be one at a time. Yeah. Regulated, absolutely. So again, you know, back to your question about, do you think they're going to start shunning people if the vaccine comes out and they don't get it? Probably. I don't think it's unheard of. I think we need to be prepared for that. You know, and then you're going to have the people who don't believe it's real not wanting the vaccine. Right. There's a lot of people that don't believe it's real until their family member has it, or they see their mother or father on a ventilator. Right. They're not going to believe it's real.
Right. So you know, you speak of that. So I got a good friend. He wants to come on the show. He's a great guy. He went to Peoria High School, so I knew his brother. We've been chatting it up, but he's kind of a naysayer, right? So he's kind of the guy that says it's not real. And, you know, I don't want to speak for him, but he definitely wants to come on the show. He does, I'm trying to think of, I'm trying to think of what it's called. But anyways, he thinks it's not real. He's against sports. He's against all this crazy stuff. I wanted to bring him on, but, you know, he's definitely he has his way of saying some things. It's pretty funny, but I wanted to bring him on shortly, but he's definitely the naysayer. He's the guy that doesn't believe that it exists. I had a good buddy that actually designed the logo. His daughter caught it, and they were really cautious, and you know, all this and that. The whole family didn't catch it, but it was just his daughter. But she was hanging out with a friend, and you know, the friend was sick, and you know, basically that's how she got it or whatever. She's been over for about almost 2 months now, but she didn't get the crazy symptoms. But it always affects. It seems like it has affect different people different ways, right? I think she's 19, 20, you know, so she's, you know, pretty healthy child or young adult. So she didn't get the bad symptoms. You know, I think she got the sneezing, the coughing, the headaches, the body aches, but she didn't get the ventilator thing and all that stuff. So she didn't have the hard time breathing. So I'm glad that they worked it out and everything was good. But definitely, like I said, we have the mutual friend that just thinks, hey, you know what, this is not real. Like you said, you don't know what it is until a family member gets it.
I've had, oh, absolutely. Both my parents had it. They were both hospitalized. My dad's brother had it. He's an EMT for Detroit. He was actually on a ventilator for 3 weeks. He's still not back to work, and he's, been off for now several months. It's affected him so bad that he has to have therapy, rehab, and everything just to breathe and walk again. A girlfriend of mine who is a PT at a nursing home, she had it. She was actually supposed to come to Arizona to visit the beginning of August and had to cancel because her doctor doesn't want her flying because she's having trouble breathing still. And she had it back in May, and she's still having trouble. We know several people who have passed away. It's actually hit our family and close friends and family members pretty hard. And all of these people I've mentioned, none of them were in connection, came in contact with each other. These are all separate incidences. So it's pretty scary.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like I said, I think a lot of people, do think that it's not real. You know what I mean? It's just media, blah, blah, blah. It's not real as they say it is. And you got to remember, we're going into flu season, right? So it might get worse.
They're going to get hard.
Yeah, it might get worse. So
I believe it's going to get hard.
Yeah.
Again.
So we're going to get, we should get, just like, I think the flu, we always get like that second wave or whatever, you know what I mean? So I think.
End of October and then January.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I hope we figured it out.
Stay safe, wash your hands, practice social distancing if you can. Wear a mask when you're in close proximity with people that, you never know when a sneeze could sneak out on somebody and bust you in the face. So wear, get a cool mask.
So my buddy works for the post office, and I tried to call him last night to ask him, but so the U.S. postal workers in Chicago, just because how crazy the fucking country is, are scared to go in certain neighborhoods and deliver mail. And most people, oh, it's a conspiracy. So there was a post office worker that got shot delivering mail in Chicago. Yeah. So I'm like, what else is fucking gonna happen? So I was going to ask him, did they tell you, hey, be on high alert when you're delivering mail? But, Phoenix is pretty, everybody's got a gun. So I don't even know.
Everybody here has a gun.
Everybody has a gun. Yeah. So I don't know if the post office worker, you're able to carry a gun. Probably not. But isn't that fucking crazy that fucking post office workers are getting shot?
Yeah.
Delivering
That's
mail.
insane. Yeah. That's insane. I don't know. I'd probably have one hidden on me, even though I was told not to have one. I'm not getting killed.
It's funny because I was getting a haircut the other day, and I mentioned it to my barber. She's a female, and she's 20. So hats off to her. I think I plugged her barbershop. It's her own barbershop. She's 20 years old. Amazing young girl, Latina. So, and I tell her about this. She goes, I'm scared to go certain things. My dad's real protective and this and that. And I was like, I hope you have a weapon. And she goes, hold on. And she opens her drawer with her, her clippers and all that. And there it is, a gun. And I'm like, she goes, shit, I'm afraid to go to the gas station. But, everybody has a gun. So everybody has a gun here in Phoenix. Everybody has a gun.
and they're quick to pull it out.
Right. So I was talking to a buddy of mine, mutual friend, you know him, and we had a discussion about a gun. He says, you know what? I'm not worried about the guy that has the weapon on his hip. I'm worried about the guy that his weapon is hidden. And that's an awesome point. You know what I mean? He's like, those people walking around that have the weapon, you know what I mean? It's there. But the guy that has it concealed, you have to worry about it. So,
yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, when I first wanted to carry, a friend of ours had said the same thing to me. I said, yeah, I'm going to wear it on my hip. No one's going to mess with me. He said, oh, no, you're not. I said, well, why? Isn't that like a sign, like, don't fuck with me? I got a gun. He said, no, they're coming for you first because you have the gun.
Right.
They're going to come for you first. They know that you're a threat to them. So why don't you be the silent threat and not show them that you have a gun? And I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, all right. I guess I'll hide it.
Right.
But it makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think one of the last topics I wanted to talk about, I don't know if you saw it. So Joe Rogan has probably the #1 podcast out there. And he, he speaks his mind, just like I think we are doing. He slammed, and recently, about a week ago, he slammed Caitlyn Jenner, saying that she's nuts, blah, 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 whatever. And then Caitlyn Jenner fired back and said, he's a homophobe and a transphobo, because I can't think of the word, but something along those lines, because she's a transgender now. And I was as I read that story and I saw the video, the Kardashians are coming to the end, and I know we talked about it. So there was a spot, and I can't think of it, but it's the one that's married, the girl that's married to the white guy. What's his name?
Scott Disick?
Scott.
Scott.
So there was a show recently, and I don't know if it was past or whatever. He says, he goes, I think it must have been because they were aware that the show was canceling. He's like, hey, we should all have a drink and salute to Kim for making his family famous because of her porn. And I thought that was interesting because Caitlyn Jenner said that, his daughters, he includes, Kim and all the rest or whatever, because he sees his kids, they're hardworking and this and that. But I thought that was funny that Scott said that, like, we wouldn't be famous if Kim didn't make this porno.
I love Scott. Scott keeps it real. He's the dysfunctional son-in-law. He ain't scared to say what he wants to say, and he hit it on the head.
This is actually fucking true, right? So, I remember reading when it originally came out with the porno or whatever, and Kim said, oh, I didn't know, blah, blah, blah. And then I read, when he said this, I went back and read the stories and this and that, and I didn't know the mother filmed the whole thing. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yes. And she's the one that shot the tape.
So I know that she shot the tape, but I didn't know she filmed it.
That's what they
Have you seen it? But have you seen it?
I've seen it.
Doesn't seem like she shot it.
I don't know. That's what they said, that she shot it. But I know confirmed that she shot the tape.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, he leaked it from what I've,
So if she shot the tape, and let's say hypothetically she did film the thing, was this? I mean, they took a big roll of the dice. You're going to do a sex tape, and you're going to publish it, and it probably has a zillion downloads, right? At that point, did they think, hey, you know what, we're going to be fucking famous if this comes out? Because I didn't know who she was. You know what I mean? I didn't know before.
No, she was an assistant for Paris Hilton.
Right. I didn't know.
She organized Paris Hilton's closet, and she sold expensive, consignment things out of, famous people's closets online.
Right. So I didn't know who she was. And she didn't have, I know. Like,
I mean, she hustled. She always hustled.
Right. I get that. And she had, she comes from a little bit of money. Jenner had money.
Yeah.
Dad,
Shapiro.
Her real dad had money. He was a lawyer.
He was OJ's lawyer.
OJ's one of his lawyers. So I know that, I mean, they had money, but they didn't have fuck you money, right? They didn't have fuck you money like right now.
Right.
So, like I said, it just jumped out to me that, Caitlyn Jenner's, oh, my daughters are, hey, yeah, I know they're famous now, but, Scott took his hat off and said, you know what? We wouldn't be in this. We wouldn't.
I love Scott.
Whatever, 20 years or whatever, how long it's been, if Kim didn't show her booty. You know what I mean?
God
So I
didn't
just thought that was
lie.
crazy. And I don't know if, like I said, I know Joe Rogan. I've listened to his show many, many times. This is probably why I wanted to start a show. Um, yeah, he's kind of crazy and he kind of says what he wants, but it just feels, I was talking to a buddy the other day about it, and I just feel like this country has everything is so like censored. I mean, when it comes to, isn't it what he has his own podcast for? He should be able to say whatever the fuck he wants and not have to worry about repercussions, right?
Yeah, whether you like it or not.
Comedians, you can't say things about, oh, he's a fag, or you whatever the case may be, and right away they get blasted. Especially, I mean, not us, we're not famous or anything, but what I'm saying is, if somebody like, a famous comedian or a Joe Rogan, he can't say certain things. If not, he gets attacked. I mean, don't you feel like this country has just stuck a tampon up their fucking ass lately? I don't know. It's just like
Oh, everybody's offended about everything.
yeah,
Everybody's offended about everything.
hey, I'm not homophobe. As long as you're not trying to kiss me, I don't give a fuck, right? If you have a dick, who cares? You know what I mean? You wanted to be a girl. I mean, when that whole uh, Caitlyn Jenner thing, it kind of, yeah, when I was a kid, I thought this guy was a man's man, right? He won the Olympics. You know what I mean? Like, and then they said, that's what Joe Rogan said. Well, the reason why you did that because you were around a bunch of crazy bitches. He just said it. Who cares? I mean, if the guy wanted to be, he said he always wanted to be a female. That's fine, but I just don't think he should take offense. You know what I mean? But
I don't think you should take offense, especially because if anybody does the research on him and sees, I mean, for God's sake, he was in the YMCA video with a crop top on.
right.
If that's
He
not,
was probably always gay. You know what I
he
mean?
was,
Yeah.
like we talked about last week, he was always gay.
Right.
The signs were there because he was a phenomenal athlete and Olympic gold medalist. People dismissed it. They dismissed it for what they wanted to see. And he's always been gay. His first wife knew. His first wife knew that he wanted to have the sex change.
Right.
And he says that Kris Kardashian, or Jenner Kardashian, she Shapiro, whatever last name you want to call her, she's the originator, whatever. She knew, and she tried to ignore some of those things throughout their marriage. And he said that he tried to suppress them too. I think he was attracted to Kris because he wanted to be like her.
Maybe.
It's what I think. I think that he wanted to be like her. When you want to be like somebody, you surround yourself with those type of people, that type of man, that type of woman, that type of, energy. So I think that he fought within himself for a long time. You got to think, you're a star athlete and everybody's seen you for this manly man. You were on the cover of Wheaties and this is how you've been known. And it's a scary thing for him. To take offense, though, I think is a little outrageous on all the things that he now takes offense to, because this is who you are, and there's not going to be people who agree with what you're doing, but you chose to come out and, come out boldly, which there's lots of controversy around how he came out. I don't know if you know the history of when he came out and what actually was happening legally with him. Right. But I guess that it's just, why are you so sensitive? This is who you are. You are who you are, and people are going to say what they're going to say. It doesn't mean it's true. So freedom of speech.
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, it is what it is. And like you said, if you wanted to be like Kris, that's great. I mean, I think he or she has had his own success, as a woman now, or whatever, transgender or whatever she wants to be called. So, and then, like I said, we talked about this. I think, he fought, internally with himself. He knew that he was gay. I mean, he had children and stuff like that to try to cover it up. And I think a lot of gay men probably, I have friends that, you know, had kids and, you know, all that good stuff. And then, you know, hey, I'm really gay. You know what I mean? So, you know,
Same.
yeah. And, you know, they tell their wives, hey, I don't want to have sex with you anymore. And then, you know, they go through that struggle of like, why, you don't feel me attractive? And they're like, really, I really like men. You know what I mean? So, you know, that there it is. So
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
crazy, but yeah, just I just like I said, I think everybody should be able to say what they want to say. It's his own show. I think Caitlin said that she would definitely go on the show, so it'd be pretty interesting if Joe Rogan brings her on the show. So
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
see what happens. So do you? We're gonna probably wrap it up because, like I said, it's gonna be one of these early ones. I don't know if you want to plug anybody. I definitely want to plug Gangsta Melody. If you guys, he's from Southwest Detroit, originally from Puerto Rico. He's been in Southwest Detroit since he's been a teenager. He went to Chatsey High School, product of Southwest Detroit. Great reggaeton, trap, hip hop, Latino music. It is great. We're gonna have him on the show, hopefully in the next week or so. I don't know if you've listened to his album, but
I did.
Did you? What'd you think?
I thought it was amazing. You know, I'm not a fluent Spanish speaker, so, but I still enjoyed it. I mean, actually, that's one thing living in Arizona has given me more of an appreciation for, because there's a lot of that music here.
Right.
So I actually enjoyed it. I listened to four or five of his songs.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, I listened. Yeah, for sure.
Good. Yeah.
I was digging it. I didn't, you know, I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome.
This is awesome. Yeah. So he just
Yeah.
released his album. It's in English, basically the romance in the streets. So it's really good album. I hope he gets discovered because this guy. I mean, I know he's not young, but he's in his 30s. But pretty awesome, pretty talented. If you guys haven't checked it out, like I said, Gangster Melody, you can go to Apple Tune or Apple Music or I don't know, Android. What's the Play Store? Is it in the Play Store?
The Play Store,
Apple,
Google Play. Yep.
Or so
The
go
Google Play,
download
yeah.
his album, check it out. Great guy. I talked to him probably about 45 minutes the other day. A really, really good guy. He told me the biggest thing was that I got from it. He's got 4 kids. He's got 1 daughter and 3 boys. He's got twins. So he told me that he's doing it for his family. He's like, look, I live my life. You know, if whatever money I make in the future is for my kids. So I thought that was pretty amazing.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So he's a guy that, even though he would love success, he wants that other person to be successful. So it's like, you know, all love. So shouts out to Gangster Melody. Much love, Papa, and I hope everything goes well for you. So hopefully we get you on the show. I don't know if did you have any updates or anything on your clothing line?
Actually, I meet Wednesday with my designer, so things are in motion. Yeah, things are in motion. Meet Wednesday with my designer.
It's all for women? Is it all for women?
It's all for women for now. I do have a line that will come out for men later. Okay. But it's all for women and activewear. There's some accessories, some some things for your pets as well. So right. Yeah. So I meet Wednesday with my designer. We go over
for pets too, huh?
Yeah. So my line is Savage Kitty, and so we have engraved dog and cat tags that say cool sayings, like for dogs that says like, got lost prowling for bitches, please call my mom, things like that, so like, Savage, and then, some would say like Savage Kitty for the cats, and, cool little sayings for the animals that, my mom's hot, please call her if I'm lost, kind of things like that. So yeah.
That's awesome. So
yeah.
Definitely look for Tori's line, check it out, and get some stuff for your pets and for yourself. So
yeah, absolutely.
So anything else?
I want to plug my girl Shamika. She just created her new vagina juice. And it's a juice. It's vagina juice, yeah. And you can find her on Instagram under Juicy Juice. She, it's a cocktail of sweet juices to make the kitty taste nice. So yeah, and it works. So yeah, she's here in Arizona.
So it's better than, I
Phoenix.
guess, the pineapple.
It's a mixture of, yeah, well, there's pineapple in it, papayas, vitamins.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of companies that have something that you stick up there, but this one is all natural and you drink it. And so,
So whatever happened to just
yeah.
natural juices?
Well, I mean, these are natural juices. It's enhancements.
It's enhancements.
You are what you eat.
The vagina juice. Oh my
You
God.
are what you eat.
Yeah.
So yeah, here in Phoenix, you can find it under Juicy Juice. It's amazing.
You know, that reminds me of the movie from Boomerang, Eddie Murphy, when they had Grace Jones and she was trying to come up with her own perfume, and that was one of the names, vagina. It was you know,
Vagina.
yeah, it was supposed to be her like sense of her pussy. You know what I mean? So I thought that was pretty funny. So
Yeah.
that's hilarious. But enhancement
Yeah.
vagina, that's my new word right there.
Maybe we'll have her on the show.
Huh?
Maybe
Yeah,
we'll
we're
have
gonna
her
have
on
her
the
on the
show
show
soon.
because I gotta taste it. Like, let me find. Is it like in a liquid form? What is it?
It comes in a liquid form.
I
Yeah,
gotta
it's
taste
a
this shit.
drink.
Yeah.
It's a drink. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm sure it would probably enhance some things for you too.
I gotta do a taste test on this motherfucking shit. I swear to
Okay, I'm gonna get you some.
God. That is so funny. So before I let you let go, so my cousin, she made Metro Times. They wrote an article about her. So she's in the West End. Detroit Love Tacos. I don't know if you got to try it while you were there in the week. So
That's awesome.
oh, you did try it. Did you try it?
I did not get to try it because I didn't find out until the day I was leaving. But I've plugged her to tons of people,
Okay.
and I'm so excited that she got put on the Metro Times. That's awesome.
Yeah, her and her husband got they mentioned her. They did an article. So she's in the North End, Boston, Edison area, on the west side of Detroit. So she's kind of like I guess her biggest thing was when I talked to her about it. She's like, look, I'm you know, Southwest Detroit is flooded with Mexican restaurants, taco trucks. You know what I mean? So she says, you know what, let's try something different.
Mm-hmm.
She went to the west side in the North End. And she's getting some traction. So congratulations, Detroit Love Tacos.
It's brilliant.
Great idea, taking it to
Absolutely
a different part of Detroit. So much love, much success. She just celebrated her 1-year anniversary with her husband. So they're in Chicago. So hats off. Happy anniversary. I think that's about it. Did you
Happy
have
anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Do you have anything else?
Nope, that's it. Everybody stay safe. Be kind to each other.
Right. Okay. See you later.
Bye.